I think it's time for another update on this chainsaw. I bought a case for it off of eBay a few months ago, and I haven't completely used it since October. I actually did a little bit of work on it recently and then cleaned it up afterwards. Let's pull it out and we'll get a closer look at it. So at the end of my first video, I actually ended up replacing the bar because the original was worn out on one side and it kept on making the chain cut crooked. And after that, that storm Isaias came through at the beginning of August, and it blew down our tulip poplar tree in the front yard, and I used it to cut that up. And I also used it to cut the remainder of the logs from that sour cherry tree I had growing on the corner of the house. All of this is split up here. The poplar is all these white pieces here. This stuff is whatever was remaining of the flowering pear at my grandmother's, and then all this at the bottom is the sour cherry. I'll get into what you're looking at here, these logs, in a small moment. So I used it a little bit more into the end of the season, and then I didn't have to use it that much anymore because we stopped having fires outside. I actually ended up chipping off a lot of the paint because I tried cutting into the stumps of that cherry tree. It was a little bit unsuccessful. I replaced the gas tank too. My little fix didn't work. Now it doesn't leak at all. I fashioned up a new diaphragm out of an old one off of my tractor's fuel pump for the oiler on this, the automatic oiler. It kind of works, but if you're cutting into heavy stuff, you do have to rely on the manual override, which still works very well. So the reason I have it up today, besides to update on this, is that I finally have some large logs to cut through and test. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that too. I'm going to be testing a new grind on the chain. This is the chain that came with it when I got it. It's just an advanced cut Oregon D70 chain, and I used it as the as a sacrifice for me to practice square cutting the chain. I bought a double bevel file, and I actually got a little bit carried away on some of them because I kept on doing it wrong. But that's only because I plan on replacing this chain with a power cut chain and then putting a square grind on that. And apparently this was a mistake, but I ground out the gullets a little bit too far. I didn't put a shelf on some of them like I should have. I also tried to file down the rakers just a little bit. We'll see how this chain does on this stuff. This is I believe it's 19 years old, silver maple growing in the back corner. Where I stand is right over the sewer easement, so the township informed us that it had to go. We also had to get rid of a wild cherry tree in the other corner. So we got all this opened up now. But enough talking. Let's fire it up and cut through this log. This end of the log is exactly 14 inches, by the way. my mistake. Some sawdust got stuck in the bar because I wasn't using the... This is why your manual oiler is very important on these. The automatic can't always do the job on big stuff like this. It didn't cut as fast as I hoped it would, but it's a hard wood and it's still pretty green, obviously. Let me undo my little screw up here and then we'll get back to this. Alright, pretty much good now. Let's try it again. Well, it cuts as good as I need it to. At least for now. I'll get a new chain for this eventually. And then we'll see how that does. I gotta turn up my idle a little bit. It was idling kind of high last fall, so I just have to adjust that. And it won't try to stall itself out as easily. I'm gonna consider the square cut a success. I'm gonna keep doing it. Although, to be honest, I don't know if... Well, the thing is, I don't have a control group here. I'm not cutting through the same type of wood as I was when it was still round filed. But man, do I love this saw to death. I'll take it with me anywhere where I need to cut stuff up. Whatever I put it through, it'll most likely be able to do the job. I'll throw in some more, I'll do some more cuts of all this stuff, or whatever I feel like cutting up, I'll throw in some clips at the end of the video. Other than that, Thanks for taking the time to watch. Hope you enjoyed it.